I'm getting very efficient at changing things over now. So we do now have Heavy Greg facing off against C East. I forgot. There's one thing I forgot to do. Division C East, Heavy Greg facing off against Hardstuck Support Group. Which, as I said, I used to be on the team with Heavy Greg when they were just called Greg before they put on a few pounds, kgs. I guess I use pounds for the American audience. Is pounds even correct for the American audience? I think pounds is correct for the American audience, right? Someone can tell me whether I'm right or not, because I really don't know. But they are here. They were my old team, but due to conflicting schedules, me being the exact opposite schedule of theirs, I'm going to have to go, sorry guys, I really, as much as I'd love to stay playing with you all, I can't. Nor you use feet for everything. Don't put that on anyone else. So, we will be getting into it in a few moments when I do actually open everything up, as we do have Dragonshire being picked up first, which should be a hell of a time. Which I'm also going to do something else. Which I do like Dragonshire. Dragonshire is one of my favorite maps, but I do like playing offlane is probably my main reasoning. But we do see Heavy Greg banned out, Battlefield Eternity, and Brax's holdout, as well as Hardstuck Sports Group banned out, Sky Temple, and Infernal Shrine. So, without much more stalling, what I'm going to do is get on into it. Oh, I've got to actually open up map before I can finish stalling. So, I'll get into it in a few moments. It is just opening up now. Play against... And hopefully I can time things correctly. And I didn't. Let's hop it into now.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
Yep, so we are getting into the series now. So what I'll do is we'll start Heavy Greg facing off against Hardstuck War Group. So on the side of Heavy Greg, we have Snick on the Leoric, Corrosive is on May, Randy Newman on the Malfurion, Chim Chim, Chromie, and Symphysis on the Kerrigan. On the other side, we do have Nature Boy on the Sonya, Random Engineer on the Blaze, Sil, Orphea, Omar G is on the Maev, and rounding things out, we do have Smackloud on the Lucio. Right, and we do have things up. Sorry, I just need to reply to someone. As I do see the Falling Sands just slowly moving towards Random Engineer. Which, Blaze. Did I mess up saying Blaze? As we do see wave being cleared out, I need to move my camera because I'm doing a bit shoddy as that, as we do see Sonya and Leoric have already made their way top. Oh, nice try of a pull combo there, but just not quite sharp enough on it, unfortunately, for the side of Heavy Greg. Meoxy, Random Engineer, and Smackloud holding this vision circle. Speaking of vision, Chromie just plops it straight on top, and they know immediately they're hiding in the bushes, waiting for them to rotate through, even just a little bit sloppily.
Worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power? Prove it. Take control of the shrines.
No, yep, sorry. Respond to someone now, but we see camps are being started. Omar G, Sil, and Smackloud all on top of theirs. As we have a look at talents, it is going to be... I was going to say, maybe it's nice just Memento, but Omar G wouldn't have needed the help if that was the case. Maev has pretty good camp clear with that one talent. But we can see they're actually going Tether at level 1. Bonds of Justice, as well as we do see Growing Nightmare on the Orphea, so stacking that slowly but surely. And that would have been a good spot to get it from them, but still, unfortunately, didn't quite have it up, it must have been. But that's because it is still at least a very good camp clear ability. Pull coming out of Random Engineer, nice pull. They are being forced out, still going in on top of them, but no, not going to be able to quite reach them. And I'm trolling, says Pink Blackout, which, fortunately, we won't see... Fortunately for Pink Blackout, unfortunately for us, the viewers, we won't be seeing the Pink Blackout troll this series, as that was last series. Still actually goes down first. Chromie finding a kill there. Nice push off by Lucio. Smackloud getting themselves out of danger. Random Engineer being hit with a snowball for their efforts. And HG versus Sport Group. Done. Updated my title as well, so I actually am not confusing everyone who tries to step on in. Nice dive on by Synthesis, does get pulled back in by Omar G, does give away out. Oil slowing them down, and we see the hourglasses from Chromie doing a lot of work. Absolutely just making people second guess where they want to go, as we have Adornal Anomalies picked up by Chromie as level 4s are through. And in terms of quests, because I do like mentioning them, as we said, we do have Dread and Tether for the Orpheus and Maev respectively. We also see Synthesis stacking the Sharpened Blade, so Q quest coming out from the Kerrigan. So as we go along, that's going to be more and more punishing. Synthesis, you need to stack on those to do your Q. I'm sorry to tell you, but Kerrigan, minion kills count for Sharpened Blades. Albeit it's only one stack, but I guess you don't want to use your abilities to go ahead. Also, welcome Gimme More. As I said before, it was very fun casting with you today. We are on our second series now already, I know. The second one, we have a Division C East game of Heavy Greg facing off against Hardstuck Sport Group. The last game was Cats on My Keyboard facing off against Assistant Noob Manager. We do see Omar G not quite able to be fully pushed in. But Corrosive, very aggressive. Synthesis getting good stun to make sure they don't get too much coming out of him. Nice Tether by Omar G, pulling everyone in. But there's an hourglass and a half. Only stopping the side of Hardstuck Support Group. Very well done. Synthesis, I kind of forgot I went to stack for a moment. How do you forget? Sorry, give me a moment because I just remembered I need to do this. I really need to get in the habit of doing that and hiding that little box at the bottom. But yeah, this shows under your hero how far I'm at. But no, that's fair. I forget I do things as well sometimes. Random Engineer stuck between a rock and a hard place. Excellent pull by them. And Corrosive actually gets out. The Tether faded off of him before they went down. Oh, Chromie finding an excellent couple of hits onto SmackCloud. Chim Chim doing well so far. So you do see still Omar G and SmackCloud considering what they need to do to step back in this. And the one thing I should note is... oh, nice pull onto SmackCloud. SmackCloud gets out, but Synthesis is the one who goes down. A little bit too much damage onto them. Still gets the kill. Nearly finds Corrosive, but no, they aren't able to do it that time. I know Fiction is quite a bit. My boy Chim Chim. Nor says my boy Chim Chim. Is that because it's Chromie Nor? I'm going to be honest. That's the only reason I can think of. Bit of talent during that fight. And yeah, the scary thing for me is, for Heavy Greg I should say, is when we see 10s come through, it feels like it's going to be Warden's Cage and Eternal Feast. He could be playing anything. Okay, Chim, you got a fan. But yeah, Warden's Cage. Is that even the correct one? Yes. And Eternal Feast from the Orpheus is a very scary combo. Especially on these objectives where you don't really have far to run, even in the first instance. Also, nice hourglass there from Chim Chim. Didn't mess up the timing of Omar G a little bit there to make sure they couldn't really get the tether off. And they're actually doing very... I need to stop talking about Chim. Chim's just doing too well. I need to wait until they do bad and then talk about it. But once again, the hourglass, once again, I want to keep talking about it. Omar G gets a nice couple of tethers. There is Crushing Jaws a little bit too far back. We can see that it is Rewind coming out, but they get into the bunker. That's unfortunate for the Rewind. And we can see that Dragon Knight... I do know that it was showing that Dragon Knight was here, but just the Observer program I use, when it comes to Blaze and Bunker, or anyone in Bunker, it does get a little buggy around the Dragon Knight itself, and we can see that it did show them. Oh, and that is actually the triple hit for Orpheus. Barely found there. Someone's tip, the pinky toe, was barely in it. And we can see now that the objective is bottom. Random Engineer goes for a weird little charge around the wall. And we can now see that Maev is going to be getting the resets of her life. And we can see that it is Malfurion going down to Syl. Nice kill there onto Randy Newman. A leap coming out onto Kerrigan. Kerrigan trouble does get charged on by Blaze. Random Engineer takes them. Actually, no, Orpheus finds a kill at the end, but that was a good charge from Random Engineer. Corrosive does get pushed back. SmackCloud goes down to the Nexus forces. A little bit embarrassing after that team fight, but excellent team fight there. 3 kills to 1. That is exactly what you need. But now we can see Sonya in position to... Actually, no, because we do see that Sneck did manage to cap top. That Leoric did their job correctly. Alright, we can see things are getting set up in position once again. I need to go back over to this window because I realize I may be missing things. But we do see that Random Engineer is in position just to defend point. Maev also considering jumping onto Snek. Snek realizing they may have to stick around, considering objective may be going over. They disappear. Oh, my geez, leaps on it immediately. SmackCloud also, but no, I think Kerrigan flips it in time. And that is Snek just backing out. That Leoric not quite want to go down. Welcome, Linehouse. Yes, I know you have a line bus emote, which I don't even have one. But each emote I've put through, Twitch has said, nah, that's a single letter. I'm like, that's on my face. They're calling a letter. So I don't have that one yet, but I hope you're doing well today, Linehouse. But we can see now this building is going to go down. Oh, I should say welcome, Fiction, Synthesis. Hope you're both doing well as well. Blizzard going down. We do see the towers slowly dropping. Actually, Chromie does finish it off. Hourglass? Nope, no Hourglass there today. Hourglass this time around. You can see now Zippers is back going up, and it looks like objective will be flipped back and forth. Very neutral position, and Orphea has now finished. So that is a good timing. Oh, charge coming out from Random Engineer, falling just short. Does get the stun. SmackCloud getting relatively low. That is a Warden's Cage, saving both for Lucio and Omag. Unfortunately, it doesn't save Blaze that time around, as Emphasis finds the kill with that Q. Meanwhile, Tops, Snek, and Nature Boy are going at it. The dead man and the boy who loves, well, not dead things, being Nature, is just going to be an eternal conflict of their own. And once again, I'm wanting to play Diablo 4 right now. That is a awkward one from SmackCloud. Does get out of it. Synthesis does find the stun onto Nature Boy. That is going to be a Blizzard directly behind them. Snek looks like they want the boy. The Nature Boy does leap out, and Sonya gets to live. That is unfortunate. There is no Silence and Tomb this time around. That is, unfortunately, not up for another 7 levels, if you so choose to go. So, go with that, but there is a lot of tools that they can use to escape. Corrosive in trouble, does slide out. Nice root, nice stun. Synthesis and Randy Newman saving their tank. Meanwhile, we can hear the frustration that hard stuck support group may have had there, as they're very much wanting to get that kill onto the tank. And I do like that Corrosive is just staying aggressive even in the face of adversity. We can see they're walking in, we can see they're tethered, we can see they're getting pulled, we can see that their Orpheus is getting pulled by Synthesis, and we can see that it's a nice big sleepy root there. And SmackCloud does go down to the end. We see Dragonite Blaze does hop out bunker, no longer the Dragonite. That's just a weird visual bug. Well, it's not even a visual bug, it's more, I guess this just wasn't quite fully actualized between the Dragonite and the bunker. Because bunker, Blaze is becoming more and more popular. I think Synthesis does try get in it, but realizes they cannot have this. Does try Duke Omar G, and actually does get out of it. The slow coming out. Ice Wall, a little bit off, unfortunately, for Corrosive. A little bit too shallow in terms of a wall. You can see now that we are pushing in. That is going to be a tether coming out. That's a good stun onto ORG. They tried to get saved, but still doing their best with that crushing jaw. But no, Synthesis Corrosive does have to back up relatively low. Random Engineer is going to run downwards. Meanwhile, Syl, no combo available for her. Synthesis trying their best, but to no avail. And Corrosive gets the Dragonite right under their noses. You'll be kicking yourself if you're hard stuck support group, but they do still have the tools to deal with things. Random Engineer does get taken out by the auto attack of Kerrigan. So, if we are hard stuck support group, what's kind of the mindset of where we need to go to catch up? First of all, 16s is probably the big thing. Your 16s are very big, but definitely help you get back into things. Dragonite is going to be hitting the building. Syl is putting a E directly under Chim Chim. Dragonite slowly but surely whittling that building down and kicks Orphea all the way over into the building. Orphea going to just mount up and return. Syl going, okay, that was a bit rude, mate. Can you not do that next time? I kind of want to team fight, but we're kicked into the corner. And is this for, to people who know the team, is this for coffee with Syl? That's the only Syl I know. Also, we see Leoric manage to take down top. Unfortunately, Nature Boy was trying to defend the objective, so that is going to be it for that. So they did eventually go top, but it was a little bit too late at that point. I'm still very scared of the combo potential that hard stuck support group have available to them. It can mess up. Oh, nice high five by Lucio. Corrosive now in an awkward spot, does get tethered. Chromie, who time stop, involuntarily tethered. Barely get out. Corrosive's the only one stuck in it. Still, Synthesis now having the dive onto them. Leap hitting both healer and damage, but excellent Ice Wall to peel. Now Omar G is considering going back in, but no, Lucia's going to be one to go down first. Ice Wall putting Sil in a rough spot. That's a nice double stun with the Avalanche, not the Avalanche, with the Blizzard. That's 1 kill, 2 kill. Now we see Omar G is backing on up. Corrosive trying to get back on top of him. Omar G, can you escape? Yes, Omar G does. Excellent. And even Random Engineer is able to get out. You think you remembered you took for 4 at this point. That's really late. That's 12 levels later. For argument's sake, 12 levels later. 3-4 talent levels later, then you had it. Unfortunate, but it does happen. But okay. 16s are now available. This is where things do start to tilt back into a more even zone for hard stuck support group. Rejuvenecia is going to help Random Engineer and Omar G a lot. They do, but we do see that Heavy Greg takes the front wall and do have enough respect for hard stuck support group where they're not going to overstay their welcome. But this is not a corridor you want to be caught in. This is a good spot for Leap and Crushing Jaws to really get the value it can, because you see Crushing Jaws directly on top. Once again, Ice Wall stopping the combo. Bunker dropped by Blaze in a good spot for him. Snick dropping things above. Omar G getting relatively low, does use Vault of Wardens, does survive, but we see now Synthesis going down, and this is a turnaround that hard stuck support group needed. We see Sonya going down, traded out for Maev. So a 2 for 2, what was looking like a good team fight was made very even. Because you do have to remember, sure, while your team does well in the corridor as well, with things such as Orphea, unfortunately, well, today Orphea with Blaze, these two heroes are very good. Unfortunately, with things such as a Root from Malfurion, as well as Falling Sands from Chromie, well, I guess it's called Dragon's Breath from Chromie, that's a lot of damage that you have to deal with in that small corridor. Especially because Piercing Sands also not where you want to take fights anymore. If you can't get that initial burst kill that your comp allows you to do, I don't know why I'm sitting down here, we're in camps up here. If you can't get those initial burst kills that Orphea Crushing Jaws wants in those tight spaces, you need to disengage here in all honesty. In that drawn out team fight, it is more than likely going to go in favor of Heavy Greg, as they do have that constant kind of siege artillery damage coming in that is Chromie, as they do have those Piercing Sands. We see now Sneck is stepping onto objective. Any Entombers? Nope, no Entomb. I did see a little thumbs up spray as they did dash out to safety, but that will be it at the end of the day. And now we see the big defense coming out, and if you're Greg, Heavy Greg, just slow play it. Get your 20s. Don't go down here. Get your 20s and make sure you have that for the team fight. Never mind, they're going anyway. Sonya isn't available, but there's the 20s. Silence Tomb coming out. We do see that it is Kerrigan. Wow, we're actually seeing Assimilation Blades. Not the most often you see it, but is definitely a fun one to look at and see how that goes. We also have Life Bloom of the Malfurion, as we see Piercing Sands Chromie, and Shatter on May. So minus 25 armor? Yeah, damage and minus 25 armor at the end. We see Omar G is starting the camp below. 20s are still a good level and a little bit off for the side of hard stuck support group. We can see that they are going to be melting that wave open, and it is going to be them pushing into the building. I like to see them push into this and make this lane even. Over the meantime, while this well is still here, you're not really wanting to overstay, and we can see them back out. Which actually, now that I've said that out loud, no, they made the correct call. You don't necessarily want to go down when you have a team barreling down on top of you. And we do see rotation coming up. Maev does take that back over, so they aren't able to get it once again. Now Corrosive's looking very aggressive compared to the rest of the team. And Maev is the one in an awkward spot. Does use that very early, and now we can see that Warden's Cage being dropped. There is the Crushing Jaws, but that is a pull in, and that is a Maev going down. We have a rewind coming out. That is a very well placed Entomb, barely caught Sil, but unfortunately the damage wasn't quite there. Did not have faith in that Entomb, which, to be fair, I thought maybe the Orphea would get out, but no, that was a very well placed Entomb. Smackclad now, Smackclad, that's not where you want to be. Fortunately, they did push off and use speed boost, so Kerrigan was unable to hit them with the Mutalisk. But we can see objective flip top by Leoric, so they aren't able to do a sneaky little back cap there. You can see now Mutalisk is found Random Engineer. It's just going to chase him around a little. And that is a mutual steer. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And we see it is Leoric in the Dragonite this time. That is probably a very good choice for it. We also have 20s through for Heartstuck support group. We see Mixing Fire, Lucio, Ignore Pain, Sonya. Bunker upgrade? Thank you for subscribing, Icy Morning. Greatly appreciate it. You and your spinning bolty. Fortified Bunker is what's called, but we'll see the Engulfing Oblivion on Orphea and Maiev is yet to pick. Which, I'm going to be honest, I'll have to look at that one either way because I have no clue what Maiev talents are called. And we see Shadow Orb Huntress, which is the movement speed and attack speed bonus. Nice. Nice. Excellent stuff, Icy. But no, thank you for, at least the thought that counts. But thank you so much. We see that the rewind comes down to OMRG. OMRG does a little flip. That Vault of Wardens does void a lot of damage. And we see that it is, however, the May going down first. All while Dragonite finally gets popped. Loon, that Sneck does have, as I say, they do have the Entomb up, but they can't really do anything else. Meanwhile, Sypsis has resigned to their fate. Does try to stall things out. Goes down to the end. Meanwhile, Randy Newman, Sneck trying to get out themselves. Randy Newman does have a route available soon, I imagine. At least catches the blaze. Unfortunately, Loon wakes him up immediately. Sneck wakes him up immediately. I'm really calling him the name that I call him in Discord. You can see now Randy Newman is trying best to get out, but no, they can't escape this. The 5-man does catch up to them in the end. We can see that Heavy Greg just has Sneck alive. Leoric trying their best. Does dodge for Crushing Jaws. Back into the team. They do unstop Random Engineer's charge, but they don't quite get out of the oil in time. But that was a very heavy dive for the side of Hardstuck support group. But they aren't able to get out in the end. But they now realize, oh, we've got a building here that we can't really siege very easily because everything is so pushed out. So they capture siege camp. And keep in mind, Loon was... I keep calling him Loon. Sneck. Sneck. I know that they have another thing called Loon. I know their Discord's called Loon. But it's Sneck here. Sneck did have such a long stall of things that Respawn's come back through. May is back up. Chromie is back up. You see even Kerrigan's back up in a few moments. And considering how Leoric works, even they're almost returning as well. Alright, that is going to be an E under the building itself, and the Blizzard under the giant camp is going to help clear things up. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of dogs. The shrines are coming up in a few moments. Camps are available. We're going to see Maiev starting their own Bruiser camp. May starts theirs. I'm going to get nothing but dogs, aren't I? That's really where we're going today, isn't it? Nothing but dogs. But no, I should also remember to... What is it called? Exclamation mark. Shout out. / Shout out.
But will it be you?
I see. Morning. I'm really bad at this bit of things. There you go. Icy Morning is also Heroes of the Storm streamer. Does their own customs night where sometimes, well, if there's people available, they do their own customs night, but they also just a good energetic streamer as of their own. But we can see we are even flipped on the objectives. However, very much Greg has the ball in their court. They do have the camp being cleared out. They do have the, well, they can clear the camp out, and someone eventually is going to go bottom for Hardstuck support group. Greg can take the time here. But no, we see eventually they take the initiative, do step on. All the while we see that Hardstuck support group are making their way down. Whether they make it down in time is the question. And Random Engineer is known to be there. We do see the Hourglass finds them in the end. And they do make their way out. That charge coming out in the nick of time. I keep seeing things flash to my left, and I know it's all the bolties, but it's getting like, I'm like, what is happening in there? It's just bolties spinning and appearing on screen. And now we're getting aggressive. Nature Boy doesn't know what's about to hit them. Warning pings coming out. And we see bottom camp is going to be the object of their desire. But no, we see Corrosive and Sneck coming in from behind. Smackloud gets found by Kerrigan. Well, I guess Smackloud finds Kerrigan. Kerrigan now in trouble. Rewind coming out onto Lucio or Omar G maybe, but no, they back on out. That high five actually doing wonders to keep them out. I'm going to have to zoom all the way out here as we see it's a very widespread fight. As we do see Chim Chim is rotating around, going back in. We see that it is going to be Sonya was spinning, did fall asleep. Kerrigan uses the cocoon to make sure that she lives, and we see now 1, 2, 3 kills. Sonya Blaze and Maev down. Still going to try their best to see what they can do in the middle of things. You can see they're queuing for their life. They get a nice chomp. Loon actually taking a lot of damage for it. Still going in. We do see Synthesis getting relatively low. Still, unfortunately, couldn't find that Q. SmackCloud trying their best to finish him off. We do see that Synthesis goes down to Sil in the end. Excellent stuff from Sil there. But unfortunately, Sil to go down there. They at least took someone in the process. Now, the thing is, do you even want to go DK or do you just go straight core? It looks like straight core is going to be the choice. Because Kerrigan, while she does do a lot of damage in of herself, isn't necessary.
Red team's core is under attack.
I'm just shaking my head like, no, just hit the core. Just hit the core, Snick. Good, Snick. We can see now it's in danger. Lucio does cap the objective behind, but they may realize they have indeed half. And they're going to slow down what they can. If you can get the Lucio, that's almost a guaranteed win, but you don't necessarily need it. You should just siege the core. You can see that it is slowly dropping, and that is Entomb not quite finding it. We're in an awkward spot. Jim going for the combo. Doesn't quite find SmackCloud. SmackCloud's riding the way out, but goes down in the end. 6% leap doesn't quite find Corrosive. Corrosive now in an awkward spot themselves. Random Engineer looking at Randy Newman. Hourglass is saving him, and the charge is still going. Give it a mind if it will hit anyone that is still there. But Corrosive now does get time stopped. You can see Chromie uses their own timeout to keep their invuln to keep him safe. Corrosive. Omar G just had to step back, and Corrosive may have died there. Corrosive says E. Out of fear, potentially. But no, they are going to survive. Meanwhile, we see Kerrigan is making their way up to the objective. If you're Chim, you don't even need to hold this, as I think, because we see Snick on it. Dragonite is now being picked up. Omar G is the next one in trouble. Does Vault of the Wardens over the slow from Corrosive. You know, Random Engineer is in the backline. You can see that it is an excellent tomb. Stopping my from getting where Sil within themselves. Getting the crushing jaw out. Trying to hold on, but they do go down at the end. You can see that the Random Engineer is the last bastion of hope. But no, they'll go down as well. All while Dragonite is on the core. And that's looking to be the first map of the series. Going over to the side of... what's it called again? Heavy Greg. First good map of the series. Excellently played. Well done, both teams. Right, I'm on the wrong screen. I need this one. So, in terms of talents, we do see that Synthesis, even after their initial blunder of forgetting that they did choose the talent, did pick it up in the end. We can see Sharpened Blades was found. Was completed. Everything is kind of a standard build here. I do like the Orpheus E build, especially because you can't really step up into Kerrigan without getting punished, and this makes it much safer. Unfortunately, Maev unable to finish Bonds of Justice, but we're still getting up there in terms of stacks, and even damage, we're getting up there. Also, Orphea, still excellent stuff. 148k siege, 105k hero damage. Good stuff. Leoric, however, 192k siege of their own. Nature Boy, 145 for the offlaner. Also, things to note, we have 64k hero damage on the Chromie, 49k on the Kerrigan. Leoric actually 55k, but I do know that Sonya and Leoric were just slapping each other silly. In terms of stock, we see 25k Leoric, 24k Sonya. Malfurion, X amount of healing to round things out, 135k heal, compared to 85k of Lucio. So let's go to the map view screen and see what we have next, shall we? Are they going to make me sad, or are they going to not pick Infernal Shrines? It looks like we have Tomb of the Spider Queen up next. I do like a good Tomb of the Spider Queen game. It is a fun one to say the least. I at least enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy this one as well. I don't know what's going to happen. All I've seen is I do know that there is still a Maev in this game, so that should be fun to watch. Maev is one of those heroes where I am not good at them. I won't pretend to know what Maev does or how they work. I just try. Maev is a fun one to say the least. So we are loading into the game. We will be into it shortly. So without further ado, let's swap on over to the game and see how the teams... Wait, before I forget. Settings. Show replay controls hide. Let's see how the teams go, shall we? So, let's start with the side of Hard Stuck Support Group this time. This time we see Sil on the Rhaegar, a little bit different from the Orphea they were running before as in terms of the damage. Oh, I love reading that synthesis. But we do also see SmackCloud on the Junkrat, Random Engineer on the Anubrak, Omar G, Tassadar. And rounding things out, we have Nature Boy on the Space Yoshi himself, Tahaka. On the other side, we do see Snick on the Leoric once again. Chim Chim, Lunara. Corrosive is on the Joanna. Wow, I usually see it banned, so I very much forget Joanna's name. We do also see Randy Newman on Lucio, and rounding things out, Synthesis on the Maev. So there's our Maev just on the other team. Right, Nature Boy goes for the tongue, doesn't quite find anything there, a little bit short. And now see the wave being cleared, decent lightning being coming through things. Snick backing on up, and they do jump out. Just one very... Okay, the question is that one unfortunate play going to be game-breaking, game-losing, or is it just a dead Maev? Right, Nature Boy goes for the tongue, doesn't quite find it. Also, we're getting a four-man shove coming bottom, so a lot of pressure coming out onto Snick there. That Leoric is going to have to try, keep their best to double soak, make sure they get the gems, and more importantly, make sure they don't die with some gems. Random Engineer in trouble, and that is a very dead Anubarak. Excellent concussion mine there from the Junkrat, trying to appeal for them, but unfortunately couldn't quite save him. And now we can see the siege continues. Joe is coming top to see if it can briefly help Leoric, but Leoric is going to have to play it a little bit safe. Play a little bit more close to the gate probably is going to be the best bet. And I thought there's one gem just hiding there, but no, they're looking at a counter rotate now to make sure they can't do anything else. Corrosive steps up, does get a nice W, continues to clear the wave. And all the while, I like that this has been going on. Welcome, God is Heals. I have to say I've been lurking in your stream as well. I just haven't said anything in a little bit. Concussion Mine tries to find the enemy heroes, but they don't quite get there. Oh, we're seeing a little bit dodging. Junkrat, Smack Cloud is just throwing him out. And I will note that Smack Cloud was the healer last game as well, so there was that switch. And Junkrat is going to be looking at that bottom. No, they're just making sure no one tries to take it. And now we do see the adaptation has come out. Well, not the adaptation as in the talent, but we can see that Nature Boy is now clearing top, double soaking against the Leoric as well. So we are just going to have the two four-mans fighting it out bottom as well. Leoric double soaks top, as well as Nature Boy double soaks mid top as well. And now we can see that objective is not going to be turned in. Both teams are starting to get closer. It is going to be a little bit closer for Heavy Greg to be at a hard stuck support group because there were a few things. Unfortunate concussion mine there, pushing the condemning Joanna directly into the middle of your team is often not the correct play. You can see Corrosive does step back on out, does use the unstop, does use their Q. You can see that's a decent amount of damage coming out. Smack Cloud does get out. Maev considers going in, but will not. I was about to say, is that the mistake that's about to be showing up? And we can see Random Engineer being peppered by a Lucio once again. No, we see it going out. Synthesis falling a bit short. Does eventually find the tether on to Random Engineer. Random Engineer. Nice concussion mine once again by Smack Cloud. Smack Cloud doing excellent with these this time. I just want Vasil Orphea back. Vasil Orphea was so good. Still, if you watch this later, loving watching the Orphea. Like, it's really... I love watching the Orphea map no one. It was great to watch. It made me smile. I do like seeing very good Orphea play coming out. These, like, the more kind of higher mobility, long, hard skill shot heroes, I do love watching. Maev is one of those ones. Orphea is one of those ones. We see Corrosive Hands and their gems, as the side of Heavy Greg do have their turn in. Oh, I like even seeing, like, good Lucios. Just watching that annoying, like, little fruit fly on the wall just, like, zooming about is insane to me. Random Engineer taking a lot of damage, does burrow charge on out. The only real thing you can do in this situation, because you're a bit scared of going down to all the damage, it was pursuing you. Still does get stunned by Corrosive. Corrosive looking to step back up once again. Level 7 advantage is in for Heavy Greg. As we see, Lunara has gone that kind of burst damage build. That choking pollen at level 7 does a lot. Teams set up. 7's coming through. It looks like it is Leoric getting their turn in now. And that is going to be Spiders dropping. And it looks like we may get bottom lane opened up for Heavy Greg. They don't want hard stuck. They really don't want hard stuck support group to have this bottom. And it's been really hard for hard stuck support group to kind of counteract to that. As we can see, Randy Newman getting started, pushed back in. They are Lucio at the end of the day. Do they push off? Indeed, they do. They barely get out. My actual... Oh, they ran to a Junkrat trap. That's unfortunate. They do manage to dodge a couple of mines, but unfortunately, that is them going down at the end of the day. Good kill by Junkrat. Well played. Very fortuitous Junkrat. Very fortuitous trap placement by the Junkrat. And now with the Lucio dead, that's kind of the push for Heavy Greg hindered. They can't step in as easily as they want to. Sure, they're going to try and get what they can on the building, but they're not going to be able to do anything else with it. Right, let's see how it's going for the team's top. Nature Boy clearing top pretty well. 22 gems of your own, 16 on Sneck. Meanwhile, Smack Cloud doing what they can mid, 7 of your own. And we can see that it was a little bit damage here. Both towers down top, tower mid, plus gate. One tower barely holding on. Meanwhile, bottom, we can see a very aggressive rotation there. But building survives and only bottom wall down. But unfortunately, that is because the healer, Lucio, did die first. Maev does use the shadow walk thing. Yes. Excellent description line. Bus, you've done it again. We can see now Maev does engage onto Random Engineer. Random Engineer unfortunately cancels their burrow charge just as the tether was right at the end, so they did get pulled right back into things. Now we can see Sil is in trouble. We see Synthesis getting on top, does throw out some daggers, does do a little jump, does throw out some more daggers, does another little escape. Nature Boy did brush stalk bottom and see what they can get, but no one is able to go down there. Good escape there from the side of Heavy Greg. But we do now see it's going to be the Web Weavers for Hardstuck support group being dropped. And I'll actually have a quick chat about tens as well while we're here. As you see, actually, Sneck did hand in their gems. But we do see that it is Entomb Leoric, Leaping Strike on the Lunara, Blessed Shield, Joanna. I don't know why I closed that because I literally needed to see the talents. Containment Disc, Maev, and the High Five Lucy. On the other side, we do have the Reptile on the Junkrat. We do see Ancestral Healing. Also, Reptile was just cancelled there, put on the short cooldown, thanks to the sun from Joanna. We'll see Cocoon and Nubarak. Isolation to Haka, and rounding things out, we have the Archon on the Tassadar. Oh, Reptile coming out. Sneck, Corrosive, and Randy Newman. Oh, a decent amount of damage for it. Maev looking to see if they can go in, decides not to in the end, just having a quick reset. Now we can see that Random Engineer does get hit with Corrosive Stun, going back in, does find Sneck, tongue onto that Leoric as well. The Spooky Ghost Man, the Bone Man, has to back on out. Synthesis does blink on in, does get tether, but unfortunately no one in there. Oh, that's really what you want to get resets on. Nice Cocoon choice onto Maev, because that was a lot of tightly packed sardines into a very, well, can opener styled knives from Synthesis. That was a very bad analogy. People knew what I meant, but that's going to be that. Down. I see Corrosive is halving. Siege Camp, Bruiser Camp being pinged to one side, and we see Omar G and Smack Cloud doing the Bruiser Camp on the other, as Omar G is rebuilding their beam strength, as now that is fully rolling. And is that auto attack TAS? No, it's W build TAS, but I guess Sonic Echo is an auto attack talent, right? Oh no, it isn't. Okay, never mind. But Blue Web Weaver is now up. We should see how that one goes. Which, things are very open. It will be a pretty good objective phase, I'd say. Corrosive has returned bottom. We can see we're back to the 4-man push of Heavy Greg. But I don't think this is the right lane anymore. Sure, it's gone in value so far, but this value has been greatly diminished the more you come down here. As you get into the later game, you need this top lane open for boss. You need the middle lane open for vision. Bottom lane, really, you just have Siege Camp, and that's about it. But no, it looks like they're going to put themselves to it anyway. But, okay, never mind. Once again, we're getting a full rotate from Hardstuck support group to defend. See that it is the Novas coming out, the Psionic Storm. Building's already down, though, so that's a little bit too late to save it. See if they're going, you know what, it's down. Most of us leave one to clear it. And we can now see that Heavy Greg is going to be going into the mid-fort Hardstuck support group. Very aggressive positioning from Corrosive, but they're ultimately going to be fine. Ooh, that Web Weaver wave barely taking out those minions in the back line. Riptide being ripped by Junkrat. We can see there is a fight going on underneath. Leaping Strike over Random Engineer. Random Engineer does burrow charge out. That's now not where you want to be. Turn-in is available for Hard Stuck support group, but Heavy Greg deciding they aren't going to go any further into that. They don't really want to sacrifice themselves in any dumb way. And I'm still waiting, Synthesis. When is that going to go wrong for you? When are you going to do the dumb thing? Oh, tongue falling just short for Nature Boy. Very unfortunate there. Sil is now joined the fight. Snick taking a lot of damage. They're at minus 20 armor. That's not really somewhere you want to be. And that is them going down. We now see Synthesis trying his best to get out. Volt is going to be fine. Randy Newman does the heal. Does not quite do the speed yet. Oh, Synthesis. Okay. Okay, they get out. Never mind. It's not there. Nice. Stun. Good stun. Good tongue. And that is a dead. Maev. And boss call. Yeah. Boss time. Feels good. I feel like I need to reduce my mouse size whenever I cast. That's the one thing I forget to do consistently. We can see this boss is going down. Not actually as quick as the team would like, as Corrosive is able to meander on in and actually interrupt. Snick takes his amount of damage. We can see that things are coming in. Bomb coming out. Does hit Chim Chim. Chim gets one twice. Does try to leaping strike on out, but no, that's 15 lost gems for then. Snick and Corrosive taking a lot. Randy Newman trying to keep him up. And now, while boss did leash, they have once again started. It didn't leash all the way, so very fortunate that they do have that at least part way down still. Random Engineer does back on out. Boss, there won't be any oh, I'm about to see it, aren't I? Yep, I think I found it. As we do see that it is Maev going down. They managed to vault the little first bit of damage, but unfortunately Cocoon meant that they were in a very tough situation and went down there. Yeah, unfortunately you needed that ability to kind of be your escape, and you use it as your going, okay, this looks alright. Went in, Cocoon died. Unfortunately, we also see Blessed Shield did just go out this Vin. Still now for one in trouble, but no, that boss is assisting him too much. Nice wall there from Omar G. We see that's Leoric down. However, Corrosive is able to escape themselves, and now we're getting the building pushed into, and that is going to be starting to be torn apart, torn open. And now we see Riptide coming up from Smack Cloud. Nice boop from Randy Newman. Sure, they get hit themselves, but they mean Chim Chim and Corrosive didn't get hit by it. Nice little heads up play there. Pyro charge coming out. Iron Skin pop by Corrosive. Corrosive does, however, get hit by the second stun. High five, Randy Newman. Synthesis is going to dodge that. Chim Chim does leaping strike over Omar G. Does get Cocoon for the efforts, and that's the thing that can melt it most. See that Tassar goes down. Meanwhile, while Cocoon was out, a Warden's containment disc went out onto the Anubrak. And Anubrak, while they're used to putting people in little jail cells, they're not used to being in one of their own. And unfortunately for them, they die for it. Oh, Lucio's found Smack Loud. Cleanse coming out from Sil. That's Purge used. But no, nothing to follow up on it. Oh, Dahaka gets tethered, pulled back in. Uses isolation onto the... Oh, I've nearly called her a wrong character name again. Uses it onto Maev. Maev does take down the Dahaka with assistance mainly of the Lucio. Now we see we come up here. Gonna get a little bit of healing action out. We can see picked the Blessed Momentum on Joanna. Interesting, not often you see that one. But we also see that Leoric has gone auto attack build. Chim Chim does pick up the camp. And Smack Cloud caught in an awkward spot. Snick, however, a little bit too aggressive there. Does go down. Now we can have to see Backpedal Corrosive backing up. Random Engineer wanting to get on top. Smack Cloud throwing some mines at them. We see Omar G. No, they're not wanting to commit. Very unfortunate there for Heavy Greg to lose their player. Fortunately, it is Leoric. Leoric comes back a little bit quicker than everyone else, thanks to their trait. And also, fortunately, they did not have everyone else chase them in. Still trying to get the turn in. Does get hit with some poison by the efforts. Also, Random Engineers doing camp bottom. But that's not Greg's biggest concern right now. Greg's concern is the turn-in. Snick does get the tether on. Is going to be respawning shortly. aggressive thinking. But no, Synthesis does not go in here. Right, Random Engineer is in trouble. Nope, Tongue coming out onto Leoric once again. Leoric trying their best to get out. Isolation, couldn't finish him. Release the silence, and that is a Leoric forced out. Lucio's caught in the cocoon. Synthesis does a little leap. Then we do see it as containment disc stopping them from doing anything else. Right now we do see Snick has rejoined the fight. Leoric in a good spot. Good Q there. Now we can see SmackCloud trying to turn again. Corrosive is not having a bar of it, wanting to make sure. What the? Divine Fortress? Well, I found the one Joanna who picks the Gambit talent level 1. But now we see people rotating down. Omar G is in trouble. Synthesis is in there. Pack tightly once again, but you see Corrosive is the one in trouble. Does pop the Iron's going to get out. We do see they're going to try their best, but no, that's one stack of Gambit lost from them. We can now see they're considering going in. Nope, not going to get there. Does make the way back on out. And I see that is not my emote, that is Lionhouse's emote. But no, we see the beam coming on through. Root coming out onto Snick, and Snick considering chasing them on in. But chooses not for the best. Nice dive by Random Engineer. Snick once again, the one on the firing line, does get taken down. Unfortunately, they knew that there was no heal available, no unstop available, no Wraithwalk available. Oh my gosh, Linehouse, you are hustling in my channel. How rude of you. But no, we do see that it is going to be a couple of kills there. Free now. Hardstuck Support Group has the momentum, and they're going to look to carry it into the keeps itself. Yep, that wave is going down. Buildings being taken down. Snick should be back soon. We do see that Corrosive is back now. And that's been cleared out. Bottom one is going to be the next focus for Hardstuck Support Group. They're wanting to make sure they just make they're actually making sure that every lane is even. They're wanting it so no lane has any given advantage. We are going to be back at a... He's lying, it doesn't work. Oh, well, there you go. Mick Gilbert says don't follow Linehouse. You heard it here first. But no, that is a good push for Hardstuck Support Group. They probably could have seen if they could have done a little bit more, considering Lunara is only just out now, and they had 20 advantage for a little bit longer. But no, we do see in terms of the Storm talents, it is going to be extra Oomph Junkrat, Fussy's Blessing on the Rhaegar, Rewind, Anubarak, Essence Claws on the Haka, interesting. And rounding things out, we do have Infinite Archon, Twilight Archon I should say, from the Tassadar. Junkrat Riptide coming out, Snick releasing Corrosive from captivity. But also speaking about Corrosive, we see they went Radiating Faith on Joanna, so the upgraded shield. We also see that it is the Silence Entomb, Buried Alive, Intensifying Toxin, Mixing Fire, and Shadow of Vengeance. Also going to note that top went down just into Minion Wave. Synthesis does have a nice double tether. We can see that shield comes out from Corrosive. That's a death before the Farseer's Blessing heal can go on off. Random Newman goes down. We can see a nice Riptide. Junkrat put that, hit 2 people with that, so 25 seconds left on the cooldown. It looks like it's Corrosive going down next. Snick then soon after. Chim Chim trying their best to escape. SmackCloud wanting them. Chim Chim giving a good old duke around, run around. And they are going to get out safely, hopefully. But turn-in is available for the side of Hardstuck Support Group. And now you're in an interesting spot where no, they're not going to turn in. They're going to go boss, then turn in. And that's going to be a very rough thing for the team of Heavy Greg to defend. As well, this is a sticky situation. This boss does do a decent amount, as well as the objective is also pretty good into waves and the core itself. God damn it, I saw myself picking up on the microphone, sorry about that. Right, objective up. Snick knew what was happening. Their Wraith form was keeping an eye on things they halved out before they put themselves into a chain feeding situation. But looks like turn-in is going to be happening. We see SmackCloud and Syl, both of theirs. And now we have a boss pushing top. And we're going to have Web Weavers not following not long after. Nice dive onto Loon. Snick. Snick does eventually burrow out. We do have a Riptide coming out. And that is a free-man hit. So that is Riptide back immediately. SmackCloud knows it. We see him take a few steps up, and we can now see that there's going to be Cocoon onto Nubrak. That is yet another free-man hit. Riptide is back again. And that is a third Riptide in a very short amount of time. Does blow up this time. Doesn't quite find anyone. It's on full cooldown, but there was a Joanna in their face, and they didn't want to get stunned out of it. And that is going to be the second map of the series, going on over to the side of hard stuck support groups. So we are going to have a good free map series. It's not often I get to do free map series alone, but here we are. Right, let's throw it on the stat screen and see how it works, shall we? See how it went, shall we? So starting with talents, we do see that it is going to be relatively standard across the board. I do like the pickup from Lunara going Nature's Culling at level 4, even though they did go the burst damage build. It does very much help clear out for Web Weavers. Junkrat pretty standard. Interesting to see Essence Claws on Dahaka, because often you do see Contagion at level 20. Very much helps with the isolation damage at level 10. Oh, not isolation damage, but the AoE isolation is just so good to deal with. I do think the Figva's Finger question is going to be Divine Fortress. It's not often you see this talent anymore. You do very much either see Double Blind, or you do see Laws of Hope. Divine Fortress is definitely an interesting one, and I may just have to have a little play around with it as well. So in terms of stats, let's have a look. Leoric and Tassadar have the most siege for their teams respectively, 150k to 143k, as well as 38k hero damage, 48k hero damage Maev to 98k Tassadar. So Tassadar may be something that the team of Heavy Greg looks to ban out next time. Yeah, sure. I'll throw it up for a few minutes while I quickly do something in the background. Is that enough time for your IC? Can I change it back to the stat screen now? Give me one more moment. I will. Okay, thank you. Yes, cool. Let's go back to the stats then. So we do see that healing. Lucio tried their best. 93k healing. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Again, we did get into quite bursty damage in the late game as well. Tassadar does do quite a bit. In terms of soak, we do see 18k Leoric compared to 15k of Dahaka, so there was that double soak coming on in. Also, that came off across the sassy. I'm very sorry. I did not mean to be that sassy on the mic. Sometimes it just happens. And the question becomes, what is our last map going to be? Oh my gosh. Give me more. More, are you still here? Because we do have a last map of Towers of Doom, which I always enjoy a good Towers of Doom match, even if I was jokingly saying I didn't earlier. It's one of the more fun ones for me. So I'm going to open that one up now. And this is probably going to be the last map tonight that I do cast, as my voice I notice is getting a bit tired, and I do need it for work tomorrow. So this will be probably the last one. Also, probably need food at some point. Probably a good idea. Alright, we'll see how this goes, shall we? Let's see and hope the teams are good luck. So, on the side of Heavy Greg, we do have Snick on the Zul this time, varying things up. We do see Chim Chim on the Tychus, Randy Newman, Lucio, Synthesis, Tassadar, so they actually took it from them, and Corrosive is on the ETC. So we're going to have an aggressive... What is this thumbs up stuff? And on the other side, we do see that Nature Boy is on the Dahaka, Sil Anduin, Random Engineer on the Muradin, SmackCloud, Leeming, and Omar G this time on the Genji. So a very interesting composition. Genji is one of those ones who can work in a lot of situations, but is definitely one of the harder ones to pull off in a lot more. Oh, Random Engineer has found Corrosive. Corrosive, no slide into them. Just wanting to play it safe. See, Synthesis is just focusing on wave clear for the moment. But they are stacking their Q at level 1, so that will eventually get quite dangerous. We'll also see that it's Is E quest on ETC as well, so that will be interesting. Slide finds for Genji, just pushing back in. Genji uses jump. And that's actually a longer cooldown for Agile Dismount, as that is something they do need. Oh, we do hear a root coming out. Corrosive slides. Genji going for the dash. Corrosive trying their best to live. Does try to dodge the damage. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too much coming in. We heard for reset coming up from SmackCloud as the cow went down. Alright, pew 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 goes a rain. Not Rain of the Tychus. You see that people are chasing Zul up. Snick goes, you know what, I'm just going to keep walking. I don't want to die like this. I'm just going to get up here safely. And we can see now that things are just going to continue on bottom. So SmackCloud is down here. We can see Camp being picked up by the side of Heavy Greg. But Random Engineer is not wanting a bar of it. Corrosive is only just coming back in now. But we can see, I've accidentally clicked on that. But we can see all 5 members are down. Corrosive is realizing that they made a little bit of a mistake. Does slide out. They do have tap available? Yes, indeed they do. But the damage is already done. The camp is being invaded upon. The ETC is returning. They're actually taking a little bit too long to do this camp. And if I was Zul, I'd almost want to come down, but Zul is actually making a very good experience lead so far. Corrosive slides out once again, but Omar G with the dash directly into them, catches them as they try to escape, and that is them going down. Very unfortunate stuff there for the ETC. 2 deaths already, not quite what you're wanting if you are the cow. Especially because, more importantly, that's also slowing down your quest. You won't have that extra survivability that your E gives you. As, of course, the more globes they get, the more healing that E provides. But meanwhile, experience, albeit while their 2 kills are even, because Sneck has been soaking throughout the whole time, that Zul actually does very well at this map in particular. Can even just decide to push if need be. And we see it is going to be a Curse Strikes Zul, so that is going to be a fun one to watch. But in terms of quests, we do have, as I said, the E quest, Prog Rock from ETC, a static discharge on the Tassadar, who is getting that stacked up slowly but surely at 7 stacks currently out of the 20 that they need, so out of the 200 damage. Nice slide by Corrosive, actually eating some of the damage to Chim Chim. Chim Chim does live a little bit longer, but no, that will be Genji taking them down now. You can see that, well, we're going to have to see things back out, as Genji is going the Shuriken Mastery at level 4, I believe it's called, as well as the Enhanced Agility Dahaka at level 1. Top objective straight out as per. You see Dahaka is going to burrow bottom, and that may just be a call to give at that point when they see it. Yep, they just back out, not wanting a bar of it, going to play it safe. Dahaka is going to use that Swarm to just clear things. Nice grenade by Tychus. Corrosive once again stepping up a little bit too high. Does dash on out. No follow-up by Omar G this time, but they know Corrosive has a lot too much health to finish off in just one foul swoop. Right. That is a lot of damage into the tower. Tower slowly going down. We see Random Engineer with a little bit of a damage puddle under them. And Leeming just beams into SmackCloud. SmackCloud does back out. Going to be fine at the end of the day. Corrosive slides to Random Engineer. Chim Chim chasing under them. Bigger they are, by the way, on Tychus. So that up front damage will be a lot. But as we get down, that's where grenade build becomes more important to Tychus, as it is going to be their finish potential on the bigger they are targets. Corrosive eating a orb to the face once again, but is honestly going to be fine. Wait, I was about to say count for 7s. Those are the 7s, cool, because we see a Calamity Li Ming. That is going to be scary for the side of Heavy Greg. Nice slide by ETC, stopping Random Engineer in their tracks. Does get a hammer of their own, but doesn't quite take too much from it. Corrosive is getting low on mana, and I imagine we're going to have the next objectives getting called soon. There it is, right as I was saying the sentence. May almost be psychic, but not quite. Chim Chim taking a lot, SmackCloud getting very aggressive from Random Engineer. Nice hammer. Corrosive looking to get up in their face. Does get a nice slide for it. Chim Chim mini-gunning him down. Random Engineer does jump. But the deflect is going to be the kill onto the Tychus. Tychus is taking just so much damage here. And once again, we're in a position where I believe Heavy Greg is going to have to give. Corrosive's just too low on those resources. They're down a hero. May as well just take your time and actually... Oh, no, never mind. Are you sure about that, Corrosive? Lightning coming out. Corrosive is in danger. Does get the tongue of Nature Boy. They're going to keep going down, and unfortunately that's them down for the count. And now you're definitely not going to want to be here if you're Heavy Greg. You're at least just wanting to make sure that no one is going to take your building. And Sil does get the objective. Oh, he hesitated. Synthesis falling just short with that Q. Very unfortunate for Dassadar there, and we can see the cap above him being stolen in the meantime. Tychus grenade coming on in, finding Random Engineer and Omar G, but they're also going to be fine, not too much pressure on them. Chim Chim, we do see they aren't quite able to kill the saps in time. 2 go into the tower, 1 goes into the keep. We do see yet another one is still up. So both camps were... How did I... No, 1, 1, 1. Cool. Got it. Nice slide onto Random Engineer. Random Engineer... Very fortunate they're on Mirrodin, and Mirrodin has so much like self-sustain of their own, because they keep just taking a lot, backing out, letting their second wind, and even third wind goes, that was their level 1. Also things to note, we do have a team fight coming out now, so I'll talk about the talents after this. You see a nice mosh from EC, Black Hole coming straight through. That's 1 kill. That is probably not the necessary W coming out from Corrosive. Genji X strikes on top. That is a good light bomb. Corrosive in danger, goes down at the end, and now we see the turnaround. Chim Chim having to back on up. Randy Newman and Synthesis also very low. High five coming on up. Another high five. That's 2 kills now for Li Ming. Nice Task Wall. SmackCloud, however, unable to finish the other 2 kills. So in terms of talents, we can see that it was Black Hole and Mosh coming out from the side of Heavy Greg. We do also see that it is Poison over Zul, High Five Lucio, and Commander Odin on the Tychus. On the other side, we do see that it is going to be the Wave of Force Li Ming. So there you go. More, it is Wave of Force, not Lava Wave. We do also see that it is Light Bomb Anduin. Mirrodin has gone the Avatar. What is that called? Isolation Archer and X-Strike, X-Blade? X-Strike on the Genji. Random Engineer has been found by Corrosive. In all honesty, if you're Corrosive, you want to hold high and make sure they can't get all the way down to your Lucio. It looks like that's going to be the case. Lucio does get a free turn in bottom, and now that we're going to see more happen top. Zul walks straight into the middle, does hit the poison. Omar G does get a lot of deflect damage off of it, but ultimately has to back all the way on up. As that poison damage doesn't quite get stopped by the, what is it called? Deflect. And now we can see Synthesis backing out very low. Omar G unable to find the kill there, as that is a now even game in terms of core health. But in terms of kills, this is looking far more in favor of Hard Stuck support group. So we're doing very well. And they even drop Commander Odin to defend. Hard Stuck support group being forced out by the big boy and the big mech. They're not quite want to lose it. Oh, nice dash. Does get caught from the tail end of Random Engineer, but they're unable to find the kill onto that. Just a little bit too spread out. That minion wave did stop a lot of the follow-up coming through. Nomad G unable to quite find it onto them. There's 25 armor on that Commander Odin is a lot. And now they're considering stealing camp once again. Nope, they're looking at Zul. Yep, Zul has stepped into the wrong place. Nice slide in. Mosh fighting just at Anduin, a little bit unfortunate, but does phase the healer out. You see Tongue coming out onto Corrosive, but we're now got a very split fight. Corrosive is going to be fine ultimately. Does make their way on out. Snick goes down in the end. Light Bomb coming out. Mirrodin does jump on top. Nice high five, Lucio. Chim Chim goes down next. Omar G, very good with that X-Strike. You see that Omar G, however, is stuck under the building itself. Does get pulled out by Sil. Good, because they were out of resources. I believe they're out of ways to escape. And that will be that fight going down. And, well, Tychus and Zul should be back for the objective coming up. They may be a little bit... No, they should actually be even on time to it. A little bit late for Tychus, maybe. But Zul should be fine. Nice slide by ETC, stopping Random Engineer in their tracks. But yep, looks like we're getting Snick back at roughly the same time as Nature Boy is getting there. Oh, Tongue coming on out. High five. Omar G is going to get this. Zul did drop their Poison Nova, but they're going to be fine. Right, so we are getting pings out onto Synthesis. That is a Light Bomb X-Strike, and that is going to be a very dead Dassadar. There's really nothing you could do about that if you're them. That is just something one of the ways of life that you have very little mobility. Sure, you could try use your Shadow Walk, but that was just too much for them to deal with. Meanwhile, we see Nature Boy is going back soaking. Zul all the while doing camp above. They are that lawnmower build, just quickly tearing it apart. Nature Boy unawares of what is happening above them. Sneak gets the camp. And bottom, siege is still occurring. Random Engineer is going to try to zone people out. Chim Chim and Randy Newman. Corrosive as well, just trying to make sure they don't lose that building. They're doing very well holding it for now, considering how much pressure Hardstuck Sport Group have been putting on the bottom line. And now we see Randy Newman looking to step on up. Random Engineer thinking about it, going, ugh, maybe I don't want that frog leaping into my backline. But no, it is 14 to 16. And this is now getting into a pretty rough spot for Heavy Greg. They need to pull something out of a hat. Will they potentially put every one of the top two and just make the team think? Bottom is going to be their main objective, which I would like to see. See Lucio is still floating around them. Nice slide by Corrosive. Does get a nice W off, and that's going to be Mosh back. That's a little bit of a fat finger there as Corrosive moshes the air. And I know that they say air guitar is a thing, but I don't know about air metal. That doesn't quite sound as right. Snick does eventually get that shrine. We see Tahaka getting theirs. Space Yoshi a little bit later will burrow on down, I imagine. That is an attempt to cancel the X-Strike before it can even go off. Nice tongue by Nature Boy. Corrosive in trouble. Does back on out above. And Leeming, well, actually the Nexus Force is eventually going to find them. Meanwhile, you can see there's a fight still going down here. Chim Chim and Synthesis below. You can see that it is Zul going down next. Chim Chim going to try their best. Does get stunned. Does get tongued. That's them dying as well. And now we see SmackCloud is going into the building. And the rest of the team channeling objective and looking to steal the siege camp yet once again. Omar G already starting it. Nope, they changed their mind. Back up here. Just take building. And this is probably one of the worst buildings to take in the game, as your minion waves usually crash around here at this point. That minion wave dies, so this is the only building that, in a closed environment, will eventually take itself back. Just because of how the minion waves are structured, and just how there are no camps that you need to be worried about. So, speaking about camps to be worried about, we do see that it's Sapper's being picked up once again. Nice stun onto Synthesis. Wall coming out. Doesn't quite find the kill secure that they were hoping for. But still a good spot nonetheless. What are we rotating upon? Are we rotating upon Leoric? Not Leoric. Zul? No. What are you thinking? What are you thinking indeed? Nice boombox hit there. We do see OMG taking a lot. Nice double stun once again from that light bomb. Corrosive finding a nice slide. Does move their way around. See, they're a little bit off the mosh yet. But they are considering going in. Are they going to? Nice hit there. Synthesis actually started to get quite stacked. 165 and 200 getting there. We still see Corrosive needing 4 more globes. Enhanced agility completed by Tahaka, and we see that Shuriken Mastery and Shingen. Well, Shuriken Mastery completed and Shingen picked up. Speaking of which, we see Corrosive taking a lot of damage. Nice wall. The deflect coming out does get pushed away by Randy Newman. Randy Newman then using push off, and actually heavy casters as well. Go straight for Omar G, and that is them really ending everything being their plans on pushing forward. Random Engineer gets slid by Corrosive. No hit there found by Synthesis. Looks like they're just going to commit to the fight instead of trying to sneak one. Zul does get pulled by Nature Boy. Comedy Odin coming out. We do see pull onto the Genji. Genji being a light bombed, and once again we see the X-Strike. That is going to be the mouth. Nope. Zul going down once again. We do hear that it is going to be the death metal, and that is going to be it for me. Not for me. For that fight. My god, I'm getting tired. I've just felt the tired hit. Sorry about it, folks. I'll try to stay high energy for the rest of it. Nice side of OMG. See if a grenade takes them down. But even between that and Pinball Wizard, that was going to be a very dead Genji either way. And now we can see once again, sure, the kills are almost... I don't even know how to math that one out. There's almost 5 times as many kills for No, there's over 5 times as many kills for Hardstuck Support Group compared to Heavy Greg. It's still very even in terms of the core points. And also, thank you for... Oh my gosh. Thank you for subscribing, Codro, and thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Greatly appreciated. Generosity is very appreciated, even if I'm very bad at describing my feelings about that one. I apologize, but thank you. But we do see... Well, Cody Rule? Cody RL. It's huge, him. That took me a little bit long to realize that it was Cody. But no, we do see that it is coming on out. Nice route there, stopping ETC in their tracks. Once again, they're not going to be able to do the objective. They're just going to have to commit to fighting, which hasn't been going too well for Heavy Greg this game. Nice hit. We can see that it is the X-Strike Light Bomb coming out once again. But I think Light Bomb was on the wrong target, or at least it was mistimed this time, as it didn't find any stuns there. And that's probably the one mishap that may actually help Heavy Greg take a fight. But no, it's Corrosive Heavy backpedaling. They are getting a lot of hits off. That is going to be a dead cow. And this may be a Death Mosh style game for ETC. But 20s are nearly through now for the side of Hardstuck Support Group. They are in fact through now. OMRG finds the objective. You can see that it is Repulsionly Ming, Censure Anduin. Once again, Essence scores on the Haka. Just that's the one thing that's I have to really remember, was to see that it is Rewind on the Muradin. And last, certainly not least, we have Secret Weapon or Living Weapon? Yeah, Living Weapon on the Genji. Still a level and a half for Heavy Greg to get their level 20s. I imagine we may see a fight happen before we get to the next objective phase then. If Hardstuck Support Group want to make sure that they do not let Heavy Greg have an even fight. But now we can see 2 camps being picked up. Zul still trying their best to make sure the soak continues. Snick trying their best. Meanwhile, we can see a lot of pressure coming in bottom. Hardstuck Support Group have the sappers. They have a 4-man. And there is a half-health building on the other side of them that they are wanting to take. And SmackCloud, by God, is going to try their best. Corrosive coming in from behind, going, oh, g'day, folks, how you doing? Yeah, nah, yeah. Let's just pop on in here, see what we can do about these sappers, these pumpkins. Don't really want them hitting the building, so let's see what we can do before then. See a nice slide, Mosh coming in and out. Is that his nice pull coming out? SmackCloud, oh, still double pulling. If they had a root, that would have just been a 1 cancel, but I don't know if they had the root or not. But instead, that is both charges are pulled down, and ETC has the chance to get their Mosh before even 1 charge gets back. They will guaranteed get the Mosh back before both charges. Nice slide. There's the X-Strike once again. That Living Weapon does get a decent amount of cooldown back for the Genji, but it's not quite back yet. You see that all the way over the backline, there's Tassadar going down. Nice pushback from Corrosive, meaning they aren't going to be found. That's 30 seconds to Mosh. We are getting in a very good spot once again for... Well, Heavy Greg are definitely trying, but once again, Hardstuck Support Group are in a spot where they're going to be fine. Unfortunately, Sneck did not find the... What's it called? Poison Nova didn't quite find Nature Boy, so Nature Boy is going to be fine. Because, well, fun enough, nature does not do well when poisoned. Fun fact of the day, neither fauna nor fauna does well in that situation. And now, once again, we're getting the push into the bottom building. And this time it may be a bit more successful as the main wave clear for Heavy Greg is down. Yeah, sure, Tychus does well, but Tassadar is excellent at it. But 20s are now through for both teams, and this is where things start to light up, as we do have Kalan's Edict on it. Nice. Nice, Cody. Look, I'm very bad at remembering my passwords as well. It takes me a little bit. I do know a lot of them, but the question is just which one's on which. Nice Mosh there from Corrosive, interrupted by SmackCloud, but still is the main target here by the looks of things. Randy Newman is Lucio Severe able to get out. Still, however, does not have the mobility on Anduin as well Lucio has as Lucio. And now we can see where it is still a rough spot. You can also see that Death Meter was picked up by Corrosive by the EC as expected. We do also have the Mixing Fire Lucio. There's going to be Force Barrier, and last thing is Big Red Button that I need to discuss. We can see now that it is the Dahaka going down. And where has this fight been the whole time for Hardstuck Support Group? As we see a nice double hammer from Random Engineer. Randy Newman very aggressive into them, but that is not something you necessarily want. In the case of Lucio, as this is a comp where they just kind of die sometimes. if they get too aggressive into it. And they're now realizing they have one building up, they have no building behind them. They have managed to fight into a very awkward spot. Synthesis is wanting it back before they channel the objective. Is going to do their best to crack it open. Snick is still in a spot where they can get a little bit dunked on. Nice high five Lucio, and we can see that the shield was blocked by Snick. But no, that building is back in the favor of Heavy Greg. We do see Random Engineer is in trouble, and they do go down in the end. But I hope you're doing well today, Cody, by the way. And that is going to be a few more shots into the course. So we are 8-16. There's roughly... No, Heavy Greg do have their work cut out for them. They do need, well, double the shots into the core of Hardstuck Support Group than Heavy Greg. Well, Heavy Greg needs double shot that Hardstuck Support Group needs. But yep, foot still buggered. That's very unfortunate. Right, nice clear of the minions. SmackCloud doing their best to clear the sappers. We can see 2 out of the 3 make it in, and that is a passing grade. That's a 66%. Well, I don't know if actually it's passing grade in America, but it's one here at least. And now we see the big red button being pushed directly on top of the building. But now we do see Corrosive getting their mosh out. Sure, the interrupt comes from SmackCloud, but that's still a combo piece of Li Ming. That is down. And they can see that, well, it's cleared. What are you going to do now? And now this area here should be the home of Heavy Greg. Sorry. This area here. That's your home, Heavy Greg. Don't leave it. Omar G jumps the wall. Synthesis is doing the best to clear things out. But no, we are going to get some fall off slowly and surely. Random Engineer is going to get hit by a root from Snick. Snick does get the Q under them. And now we see Tassar's finished their quest, so that's going to be a lot of chunking coming on in. Snick gets hit with the orb directly in the face once again. And we have double altars coming up top. Heavy Greg can afford to give one. Hell, they can even afford to give both technically currently, but that's not what you're wanting in this situation. ETC nearly has Mosh back. Just a few seconds off now. We can also see Snick has gone past. Nice. Oh, found Nature Boy, but Corrosive decides to cancel it early. He just wanted to work on getting the next one back. Corrosive gets in a very aggressive position. Wants to make sure SmackCloud can't get too much damage in. Nice slide going back in. Genji is wanting to get X-Strike, only hitting Snick there. But Lucio high fives it away. Snick's going to be fine. Corrosive's looking to get aggressive once again. Nature Boy is getting dove upon. Autos coming in, but no, Nature Boy goes down at the end. We can see it is going to be Random Engineer jumping out. Omar G is getting pestered by Lucio still. And that is Chim Chim dropping their Commandeer Odin. Keep in mind, one of the objectives are already found for the side of Heavy Greg. We see Synthesis channeling it now, and it looks like that's going to be it. Another 5 shots. 6 shots left for the side of Heavy Greg. So now we're in a position where they're going to do boss. They know Dahaka isn't up for a little bit. They have a little bit of distraction happening over here. Chim Chim and Corrosive in a weird spot, but no, it looks like boss is going to get leashed. They'd like to get aggressive, see if they can get a kill, because if you can get a 6 cap, that's an even better spot. But no, it doesn't look to be the case. They're just going to all rotate up, do boss, and very much put side of Hardstuck Support Group on a 2-shot timer. Nice slide by Corrosive. Does get more cooldown reduction back of a mosh. And actually, that is an excellent 3-man mosh. 4-man mosh! And that is exactly what you need. And that's 1 kill. 2 kills coming in just a few moments. 3 kills. Still survives. That's Li Ming, Muradin, and Genji down. We see that it is going to be the Haka burrowing on in. I don't know what they can do about this. Chim Chim dashes on out. Nature Boy does get slid. And that's now a feed. That wasn't a necessary thing to do. That Dahaka, that was not the choice. And now we have a chance of a 6 cap, or you could just get the sappers in bottom and win that way. Either way it works. Because I don't know how well Syl can do to get back buildings. But if I'm them, I go bottom, see if I can start cracking that open already. Because I expect if you're Anduin, you're not going to be able to stop people top very easily. Laughter coming through as we do see the objectives are once again being called. 6 cap now fully coming through. Just a few moments left for that. There it is. So I don't even think we're going to get to the point where the objectives will matter, because there's the first shot. GG well played, called by the sides of the Hardstuck Support Group. I'm going to leave the camera here, and we're going to see that going in. The Grave Lord gets hit with that last shot, and that will be the map and the series going over the side of Heavy Greg. Absolute nail biter until the end there. Well played, both teams. So let's go to the game summary screen and see how that went, shall we? So, in terms of talents, we do have a full W build Zul, full Curse Strikes. Love to see it. Not often you do anymore. Often you see Jailers. Alicia, that timing. Oh, I guess I should do another series then? I was going to wrap up soon. Alicia wins. Thank you for joining. Thank you for raiding. I have, I don't know how many people know, but Alicia wins is indeed one of my teammates. They are an excellent person. Shout out. Alicia wins. I need capitals. But thank you for the follows. I guess I'll do another series after this then. My attention is easily bought, and a raid is going to work it. But those are the talents for anyone who was interested in how that went. In terms of stats, we do see Zil 196, almost 200k siege compared to Harker's 135k siege. And in terms of the healing, 131 from Randy Newman Velucio, 106k from Sil on Anduin, and we can see Soak 29k to 26k. Yeah, you know what? Let's have a look. Let's have a cheeky look to see if there's anything that I can quickly do, shall I? Let's find out. I don't know. I don't think I will. I think I may just wrap it up, Invo. I did get the friendly raid in from Alicia. I do greatly appreciate it, but I am tired and I feel my throat is slowly giving out, so it is probably best for me just to give it there. So I'll do my wrap up, so to speak. So let me go onto the map view screen. So that will be the last one for me tonight. Sorry about that, everyone who did just join. I'll find someone else to raid because Alicia so kindly put it me. Also, thank you for following to Big Bad Bick. Greatly appreciated. Free map series. Did go all the way. All maps actually pretty close. But we do see Heavy Greg did take the not Infernal Shrines. Dragonshire did go pretty well. I did try to get your attention, give me more, but you must have been just zoned out or something. I don't know. We do then see Hardsuck Support Group did take the Tomb of a Spider Queen game. I could not remember. I was looking at the Spider Queen. What the hell is that map called again? But yeah, Tomb of a Spider Queen did well. And then in that last one, it did not look like Heavy Greg was going to do it, but they did find it in the end, which is really all you can ask for in that situation where you're like, I don't know how this is going to go, but they did indeed find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raid Rockwell by the looks of things. Rockwell I casted with yesterday on Girls Gang Squad. They're very much a fan of their dad jokes, their bad jokes, so you better be ready for that. So let me start the raid there. I'm sure you guys will all enjoy Rockwell. They are an excellent human. But that will be it for me for now. I need to give my voice a rest before I get into work tomorrow, because boy howdy, I need my voice for work. They won't quite let me get away with not having a day not talking. So that has been it for me. I wish everyone a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones, well, they're pretty dang weird, aren't they? But I'll see everyone in the Nexus. Take care all. Have a good one.